Got Medicaid? Paradise Dental's got you covered. We've got you covered from the moment you walk in the door with some of Saipan's best smiles. Medicaid covers your fillings, your extractions, and your checkups with no out-of-pocket expense. And Medicaid covers all of your x-rays without any additional cost to you. So remember, if you've got Medicaid, you're covered. Don't wait for a toothache. Call Paradise Dental today. Come here often.
Hi, I'm Shauna Brenfleck, nurse practitioner and owner of Island Skin Solutions and Wellness Clinic. We are Saipan's only medical spa offering a wide range of services to meet your unique skincare goals. We offer exclusive medical-grade skincare products that can only be purchased from a licensed medical professional. We also have the CNMI's only master esthetician, who offers new patient consultations that include a mini facial tailored to your needs. Schedule your consultation today to get started on your skincare journey.
North American tariff talk. Fox News, I'm Jane Fergus. The U.S. Commerce Secretary says after 6 years of a revamped trade agreement between the U.S., Mexico, and Canada, expect a renegotiation of that deal. Here's Fox's Gernal Scott.
Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick on CBS Face the Nation said the president is focused on global tariffs, but the U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement will look different over time. Lutnick said, as it stands now, about 75% of goods from Canada and Mexico come in free. But that's not a big benefit to America.
It makes perfect sense for the president to renegotiate it. He wants to protect American jobs. He doesn't want cars built in Canada or Mexico when they could be built in Michigan and Ohio.
Lutnick says those discussions could be as much as a year away. A revamped deal would extend the USMCA another 16 years. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
President Trump criticized Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell for his hesitation to cut interest rates. House Intelligence Committee ranking member Jim Himes joined CBS's Face the Nation, alleging that someone is advising the president against firing the Fed chair.
Somebody is saying to the president, the economic instability that gets caused when the cornerstone of the global economy and capital markets all of a sudden has a politically driven interest rate policy. I think that's the one thing that's holding them off.
The president reportedly floated the idea of firing Powell, but later said that was highly unlikely. He appointed Powell chair in 2017, but has since turned increasingly vocal in his opposition. The decision to cut or hike interest rates is made by the Federal Open Market Committee. America's listening to Fox News.
Fox News Audio presents Unsolved with James Patterson. Every crime tells a story, but some stories are left unfinished.
Somebody knows.
Real cases, real people. Listen and follow now at foxtruecrime.com.
Military bases in both New Jersey and Indiana will be used by Homeland Security to house illegal migrants, and lawmakers from the Democratic Party are not happy about it. Fox's C.V. Cotton with more.
Parts of Joint Base McGuire-Dick Lakehurst in New Jersey and another site, Camp Atterbury in Indiana, will be repurposed and used as, quote, temporary soft-sided holding facilities, the Defense Department told Fox News Digital. Both bases were previously used to house thousands of Afghan refugees following the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan in 2021. New Jersey Democrats released a joint statement obtained by Fox News Digital, which says, quote, using our country's military to detain and hold undocumented immigrants, jeopardizes military preparedness, and paves the way for ICE immigration raids in every New Jersey community. We have the greatest military in the world, and using it as a domestic political tool is unacceptable and shameful.
Under the Trump administration, ICE has been using detention facilities to house migrants while they await asylum hearings or deportation. The U.S. has brokered a ceasefire deal amid ongoing feuds between militias in Syria. Ranking member of the House Armed Services Committee, Washington State Democratic Congressman Adam Smith, joined Fox News Sunday claiming that the U.S. must carefully support the new leadership in Syria.
I think the posture should be, and I think President Trump did this right in lifting some of the sanctions in Syria, is to try to support this government get to the place that they want to be and get the violence under control.
Communities have fled the Syrian province of Sweda since the violence began. The United Nations estimates more than 87,000 people have been displaced since July 12th. I'm Jane Fergus. This is Fox News.
I'm Janice Dean. Join me every Sunday as I focus on stories of hope and people who are truly rays of sunshine in their community and across the world.
Listen and follow now at foxnewspodcast.com.
Hafa-day, guys. This is Boss Alvarez over at Joe 10 Motors. Hey, we've got some special for this year's Hand Me Charity Golf Classic on July 26. A glimpse into the future with that's right, a 2026 Kia Sportage as a hole-in-one prize on hole 13. Powerful, rugged, and refreshed with the latest tech and all-wheel drive. The Sportage is perfect for everyday CNMI adventures. So get registered, practice that swing, and win.
That's right. Try your luck and register today at Lau Golf and Resort for the 23rd annual Hand Me Charity Classic Golf Tournament. With our popular Blackjack Double Peoria format, anyone can win. Only $130 or $110 if you register by July 11th. Awards luncheon and our always awesome raffle after the game at the course. And a portion of our proceeds will benefit the Commonwealth Cancer Association. The Hand Me Charity Classic Golf Tournament on July 26th. From your friends at Hand Me, building a stronger Commonwealth with you since 1985.
If you see something, say something, and stay anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers at 234-7272 or submit a tip online at nmicrimestoppers.com. No names, no caller ID, no recordings, just your info. And if your tip leads to an arrest, you could earn up to $1,000 in cash. Your tips have helped take hundreds of criminals off the streets in the NMI. It works because of you. Crime Stoppers, we want your information, not your name. PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
It's a brand new day in the Marianas. Coffee's hot and we're full of promise. So say it on the teeny and feel the glow. We've got the stories you wanna know. Sway, the traffic's light, sunrise news, we're feeling right. Tune in now, don't miss your chance. Start your day with Island Dance. And good morning. Good morning, Marianas. Good morning, Marianas.
Good morning, Marianas! Holy moly!
mole. It is a great day. Good morning, everybody. Welcome over here to the broadcast today. It is Good Morning Marianas, and it is Monday, July 21st, and that music is a little bit louder than I expected. 81 degrees outside. It is a beautiful day. Luis is like, hey, if only we had this weather yesterday. I know, right? But I'll tell you, it was not a very sexy day yesterday. I'll tell you what, I still had a good day, though. Me and my wife went down to the beach early in the morning before it got bad. And we could see the clouds coming in and all that. Got the dogs running around enjoying that beach. Beautiful day. Saw the raindrops coming. I'm like, maybe we should start to get out of here. And we did. Made it back to the house in time to get up there in that cloud on the top chow side. It was beautiful. Anyway, beautiful day. Absolutely is, and today is going to be something. We're looking at scattered showers and thunderstorms throughout the day, but mostly cloudy skies. High near 86, winds out of the south. It's going to be a little breezy, but not too much, and 40% chance of rain, so drizzle is coming our way, and maybe a little bit heavier than what you'd really want. Tonight, though, going to be more of the same, but without all that sunshine. It's going to be darker, and 30% chance of rain. Tomorrow, it's going to be partly sunny. They don't say anything about thunderstorms until the evening. Then we're going to get it. That's what they're telling us. It is going to be like this for the next couple of days, but hey, it could be worse, right? You could be living in Guam. Sorry, Guam. Hey, today, a big day over there in Guam as well. You guys got Liberation, all that fun stuff going on. And some people going to be a little hungover going to work. Hey, at least in Saipan, the weather is great because today is Community Day. We talked about this last week for sure, and want to let you guys know. In case you didn't know, today is Community Day. That means, oh, here, I got to move this over a little bit. Whoop-ew. This is what's going on today. Monday, July 21st from 11 to 2. You guys can go up to the airport and go check out some of the meanest, fastest, coolest aircraft on the planet. Yes, and then all the other ones. No, but you got the F-22 Raptor. There's not a fighter out there in the planet that can beat it. It's the coolest. The F-35, man, they're gonna be teaming those things up with drones. I'm serious, it's gonna be awesome when those things go out there to do the all fighty stuff, the little pew-pews. Then if you're a big Iron Eagle fan, they got F-16s out there. They call them Vipers now, but that's not what they called them when I was a kid. I know that. Anyway, C-130s, you got the helicopters. I mean, they're all out there. But have you seen, with all this extra military aircraft out there, saw some really cool stuff. Saw a C-130 flanked by 2 helicopters. I mean, how often do you see that? I'm not talking about on the ground. I mean flying. And we took that hike last week up to Sabana or Evergreen or Sound of Music, whatever you want to call it. Saw just a helicopter just circling around in the lagoon, going in and out and all this other stuff. Not of the water, but it was just wild. Well, anyway, you can see those things for yourself today. Today is that day. Get yourself down there, bring the family, and it's weird to do it like on this time on a work day, on a non-holiday. I know, did they plan that right? Oh, I don't know, that's not me. I'm not the one who's in charge of that, but if I did, I would have made it on the weekends. Either way, we're gonna get down there today and check out some of the badassness. We'll take some photos, we'll take some videos, we'll talk to some folks, and it will be cool. And Louisa, yes, the hills were alive with the Sound of Music. Hey, I've heard a lot of people call it Sound of Music. I know that that's not really what it's called. It's just a goofy name for it. But it's beautiful up there. Anyway, so that is what is happening out there today. It is the Community Day. You can take the fam out there, have some fun, or just go by yourself. You don't even need the fam. You say, hey, I'm hogging these jets to myself. But it is going to be pretty neat for lunch break. And hopefully a lot of employers will let those folks go down there. It's weird. It's a weird day to have it on a Monday, but I'm sure it's all working in within what their schedule is for that exercise. And guaranteed, those guys aren't thinking Monday through Friday, Saturday and Sunday kind of schedule like we do. Those guys are thinking, we're here for like 30 days and we're just going to fit this in within the 30 days, and that's how it works. Guaranteed that's how it works. And so that's why it's today. Anyway, 11 to 2 today up at the airport. Should be pretty cool, and we're going to be there, and you should too. It is going to be pretty cool. A lot of stuff happened over the weekend. Did you hear Stephen Colbert, the Late Show? It's the show that David Letterman took over to CBS. They brought it. Remember, it was the late night. They used to follow Johnny Carson. No, you don't, because you're not that old, but I am. And so after the Johnny Carson show, which is the Tonight Show, which became which became Jay Leno, which became Conan O'Brien, which went back to Jay Leno and went to Jimmy Fallon. Well, that's the show at that time. Well, Dave Letterman used to host the late night show, and that was then when he didn't get the Tonight Show, he wanted to go over to CBS, or he wanted to leave NBC. He ended up going over to CBS. They started late night, or the Late Show. And that was it. So anyhow, so that's what's going on. Stephen Colbert's been hosting that program for a long time, and now it's going to be canceled in May. It's the last one. It is the last one. This is going to be the last season. They wrap up in May. They're not replacing him with someone else. They're just getting rid of the show. And, I see a lot of people who are getting a little too crazy about it. A lot of crazy folks who are on the extreme side. There are people who are looking for an excuse to complain all the time about, it's the free speech they're taking away. I'm like, no, that's not what's happening here. I mean, it's just not the same thing anymore. David Letterman was a different kind of guy. CBS didn't have that kind of show. NBC had the Tonight Show. Not like they're going to keep it forever and all that other stuff, but either way, I don't think it's a statement of free speech. But I do think it's a statement about, how important and how cool David Letterman was, because David Letterman was the freaking man. And he was worth bringing that show over. They said that Stephen Colbert's show ended up losing, $40 million last year? Which, by the way, seems crazy to me. Hold on, let me put this. Happening today. Louisa, just because you asked, we're putting the Community Day flyer up on the page right now. But anyway, so that show was awesome. And I like Stephen Colbert. I am a fan. I like Jimmy Kimmel. I mean, I like these guys. The only thing is, though, is that I can't watch them anymore because all they do, I like these guys. I like their personality. I think they're pretty funny and all this other stuff. But over the last few years, I can't watch them anymore because every friggin' comment is about the administration. All that stuff. I just can't take it. It's not funny for me anymore. I like making jokes about everybody, but not just one person. I don't think that late night entertainment is supposed to be the we're going to tell people how to think about politics and our leaders and all that stuff. You just make fun of people about them, make some fun of Trump jokes, make some Biden jokes, make some, you always pick on the president a little bit, whoever it is, but the whole show isn't about changing the country. I mean, not in that time slot. You could. People at the end of the day, they want to turn off a little bit, right? I mean, that's what I want. At the end of the day, I don't want to deal with the crazy, hardest news stuff. Just even to start the day off, right? I don't want to hear about the craziest, toughest thing going on out there in the world. Maybe we'll talk about it a little bit if it's really something, but it's not a regular, right? You still got to get back to the important stuff, and that's it. And those guys, it's a little bit heavy. Today, every day, we start with the headlines, we talk about it and all that stuff, but the real legit thing is, people just aren't loving that stuff anymore. You got to do other stuff. Like even Fox News, they try to have their own little comedian guy, that Gutfeld guy. I bet maybe having a beer, the guy would be funny to chuckle at sometimes, but it's his jokes are supposed to be the anti-Kimmel, anti-Colbert administration jokes. There might be one in there once in a while that's funny, but if the whole basis of your humor is can you believe these Democrats? Can you believe these Republicans? It's the dumbest thing. It's so dumb. And I'm so glad that people are getting away from it. Speaking of comedy, though, they had the ESPY Awards over the weekend. That's the ESPN. They came up with the name ESPYs, like the Emmys or the Grammys or the Tonys or whatever they are. And so they came up with the ESPYs, which are supposed to be like overall, not just one sport awards, but like across all the sports. And so every year they have a big show. It's funny. And they have usually a comedian or an athlete host the show who's got a bunch of jokes. This year was different. They had a comedian who brought it. And what was really interesting is that who he got to make fun of, and they let the jokes go. And it also, not just who he got to make fun of, it was just about like, I think that shows a real move of like what comedy is going to now, which I'm a big fan of, about like, what was it? Like, hey, if you're a white guy, you can only make fun of white guys, and that's it. You can only make fun of yourself. But everyone else can make fun of everybody else. I'm like, oh, that's lame. This time, all gloves off. Everybody made fun of everybody, and it was great. And they talked about the truth about a lot of stuff. Like, one of the funniest things was he's like, hey, we've got a 4-time WNBA all-star in the crowd today. Brittany, can you say hey? So they put the camera on this lady, and she's like, hi, everybody's clapping and everything like that. And then the camera goes back to him. He's like laughing. He's like, oh, I'm just kidding. That's my friend's wife. I knew you guys wouldn't know anybody in the NBA or WNBA. I'm like, oh, dude, that was great. Just great. I'm serious. It was awesome. And it was so funny because, like, ESPN's one of them for sure. And, oh man. And, sorry, I see these messages coming in, and the answer is yes. I'll get to that. I will do that. But I loved it because, like, we've been forced to be like, the WNBA is like just as important as the NBA. Not like I care about the NBA. I'm not a super basketball guy either way, so it's not a big deal. But like, that whole thing, like, oh, it's just as good. I'm like, we deserve equal pay. I'm like, so it's not that it's not cool that women have a professional outlet for sports. I think that's great, but it's not the same thing. And it's not like I need to lobby this conversation, right? I mean, it's awesome that there is a WNBA. Like, I think it's great that there are female professional sports. It's awesome. Like soccer, hockey, baseball, you name it, whatever the sport is. If there's a female level of it, so that women who are playing all the way up through college or whatever are that badass enough to go do it, I think it's great that you have an outlet. But where I got bent by it is like when they're like, hey, you need to pay us the same as what the dudes are making. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. And you can, if you're bringing in that kind of money, and with the NBA, they were spending all this money for it, right? They're spending millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars of NBA earnings to float the WNBA. And then the ladies from the WNBA, they just had their all-star game, and they came out wearing shirts like, pay us what we're owed. I'm like, dude, you're losing money. Like, that's it. You're losing money. So what are you owed? I don't know the answer to that, but if you're not selling out arenas and you're not like having sponsors trip all over themselves to pay for all your stuff, it's not an equal pay thing. It's like people go to it if you want. It's like that whole thing with Stephen Colbert. They're getting rid of the show because people aren't watching the show. I mean, that's it. And I'm not saying that there's nobody watching it, but they said, CBS said they lost $40 million on the show, so they're like, all right, so we're gonna be done with it. It's not an attack on anybody. I think it's great, but like when they're going a little oba, and I'm starting to see the pendulum swing the other way to normalcy again, and it is refreshing. Not all the crazy stuff. I'm just talking about like normalcy is taking the wheel again on some things. Oh, don't get me wrong. There's crazies. That pendulum's going to swing all the way over to the crazy side again, too, on the other side of it, because it keeps going back like this. I wish that pendulum could just go like right in the middle. A little bit like this, a little bit like that. No, it goes all the way crazy to all the way crazy. And then everybody else who's normal, we're at the whims of these people who run the political parties in the crazy world. You know, it's tough. It's tough. Cancel The View next. By the way, you know, The View didn't used to be a crazy ass show too. Like that used to be a good show. I used to like it. Like when it first started, you got Barbara Walters, right? Very opinionated, all that other stuff. But she wasn't crazy. She was like a real news person that they had on there. And then all of a sudden it became, they got a little too full of themselves. You know, it became more about entertainers and all this other stuff. What I liked about it is that I thought it was like real pros who were pretty good at stuff, and then it changed. But anyway, I can't watch it now anyway because I just I don't know. I don't remember the last time I saw it. But you got some weird views on there that I'm not really cool with. Yeah, it used to be cool. Now it's political. I'm like, yeah. So yeah, Randy, I get you. It's unwatchable. I know it. Like I get that stuff because when it gets too heavy political stuff, like TV. Think about the invention of TV. It could have been so cool, right? I mean, it still was. But imagine going from only having radio communication and then all of a sudden you could broadcast the signal with an image. Well, you think like, what are the opportunities that you could do with all of that? And it is, you could teach people. It could be for education. You can watch surgeries if you're a doctor and all that stuff. I mean, I'm going back like decades. And then the internet, oh man, you could do the same thing and even better. It takes it to a whole higher level. And what are we doing? We're filling it up with all this gobbledygook stuff that, you know, hey, I loved cartoons as a kid. I still like, you know, goofy shows and stuff like that. I love it for a lot of things. But, you know, if you're doing entertainment, make it entertaining. That's it. Like what they say about like basketball a long time ago, and they made a big deal about this. They were telling LeBron James when he started getting all political and stuff, they're like, just shut up and dribble. I'm like, yeah, I get that. Like, I'm not going to watch my professional athletes because I care about their politics. I'm not. I don't care. Play football, kick some butt, and wear my team and wear my team's colors and win. That's it. Like, I don't also care about your view on reproduction and relationships and all that other stuff. No, my ability to care about the athletes on my team are more or less limited to their ability on the field of whatever that field is. Now, if they also happen to be good guys, you know, awesome, then cool. But I don't need all that other stuff. Oh, Louisa. Cancel The View, bring back Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. That, you know what's funny about that? The funny thing about that is, yes, I love that. The funny thing about it is that Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood is getting canceled too. I mean, he's dead. Okay, so that took care of itself. But I mean, like, specifically, the federal government's going to be taking away public funding for NPR and PBS, public radio, public broadcasting, and all that. And that's got people up in arms as well. I totally understand it. I also think everybody who's complaining about that is wrong too. It is not an assault on free speech. It's not an assault on people who don't agree with the current administration. I don't think it has anything to do with that. They're really just reeling in taxpayer dollars. Like, how did our government get so big? Why are our taxes so high? Because we're funding all these things. Is all this stuff necessary? Back in the 70s, when there were like 8 channels of TV, yeah, you needed something reserved for public broadcasts, right? Now you don't. Now there's the internet. You could be a Brad Rosala and start your own little thing. I mean, with support from your friends and all that stuff, right? Nobody's an island on that. But I mean, like, with all the expertise, all of that, yeah, exactly. Oh, Luisa, that's a good point. Luisa says, I didn't even know it was still on. I don't have cable. You know what? Nobody has cable. You know who has cable? Armanamcos. Because they want to see TFC and they want to watch a Korean channel. You know, even the Korean channel, you can watch that online too. TFC, you can watch that too. Nobody's got cable anymore. That's why people don't advertise on TV, because you don't have to. Who are you going to reach? Now you could do it. You could target the people that you want to advertise to
through the magical world of this internet stuff. So that's why I don't think it's an assault on free speech for them to get rid of NPR. And I like NPR. I don't like all of it. I don't like Amy Goodwin and like Democracy Now. It's just awful to me, just not my taste, right? I don't think she's a terrible person or something. And you might disagree with me, but that doesn't mean I don't like you either. I just don't like her style. I don't like her slant, on all her stories. It's just not my thing. But that's fine. You don't need an NPR to make that happen. You can go out and start your own thing and people will find it. That's it. That's what the internet is about. And it's great. She can be an independent reporter and report her style of stuff, and people will find her sponsors that she was not able to get for Democracy Now! But the good thing is that it's not something that the taxpayers have to pay for. That's the best part about it. It's a good thing. I love that there was public education on there. I was a Sesame Street kid. I absolutely was. But, a lot's happened since the 70s. There are a lot more ways for people to get the word out. And the media jumping on, the mainstream media, no, I'm not getting on that thing. But really, anybody who jumps in on that bandwagon, they're not really looking at the whole picture. I don't feel like they're jumping on the fact that the guy that they didn't want to win the presidency is doing something, and the people who are directly affected by it are saying, I don't like it. And then those people are jumping in saying, yeah, it's terrible. It's not terrible. Well, NPR and all their programs can absolutely still exist. They just exist in a different way. It's just going to be without taxpayer money. That's it. That's not a bad thing. I'm not getting that taxpayer money to fund my show as a mandate for public communication. No. I mean, I'll take it. You guys want to give it to me, I'll take it. But that's the thing. It's the world has changed. And, even NATO, right? So, I'm not singing all the praises of the president or any of that other stuff. However, you got the president of Germany who just came out and said, hey, Europe's been riding on the coattails of the U.S. for defense for decades. It's time that we need to do something. I'm like, oh, that's pretty dope. That's a good point. And so now, a lot of our taxpayer dollars aren't going to that. They're not going to a lot of different things. And by the way, I'm okay with us spending real money and doing real stuff in Ukraine to get Russia out of there. I'm 100% cool with us going 100% there. If they're already bringing in Chinese and North Koreans, how are you telling me that's not a world war you're starting already? Maybe we should stop fooling ourselves on that. Let's just make sure. And President Trump is doing something about it. He's like, hey, talk to Vladimir. He seemed like everything's cool. And then he bombs people at night. So they're going to be giving Ukraine some stuff to do some stuff that I'm on board for that. 100%. But I've been on board with it since the start of the whole thing. And then I'm not a lefty at all. Maybe on some things, I'm a little okay with some of that stuff, but I'm not all the way crazy for it either. No. Well, you want to name and list the topics so we can go by what I'm cool with, what I'm not? Maybe that'll be fun. Maybe that's a great topic. It's what does Brad like show? Do you really even have to have a show? Don't I kind of talk about that every time? All right. So let's get back to it. So that's what's going on in free speech land. But I want to I want to play a little bit of the Shane Gillis, stuff because it's late. Hold on. Let's see. See if I get some of this audio for you.
Welcome your host, Shane Gillis.
His monologue, it had some punches. It was good. All right.
Hello. Welcome to the 2025 ESPYs. I'm so excited to be here in front of so many amazing athletes. World champion Freddie Freeman is here. Give it up for Freddie. Yeah. WNBA legend Deanna Taurasi is here. Give it up for her. My bad on that. SGA is here. Give it up for SGA. Hell yeah, bro. And now everybody sitting around him is in foul trouble. Megan Rapinoe could not make it tonight. Nice.
Oh, that was one of them.
Pretend she's a good time. All right.
He's like, well, I guess we're going to pretend she's a good time. Just hilarious.
John Jones and Nate Diaz are here. Hell yeah. I had a couple drinks with those guys last night at the hotel, and it was terrifying. Donald Trump wants to stage a UFC fight on the White House lawn. The last time he staged a fight in D.C., Mike Pence almost died. All right. No, you don't have to do that. It was fine.
He's going after. He's going after the president.
Actually, there was supposed to be an Epstein joke here, but as it got deleted. Must have probably deleted itself, right? Probably never existed, actually. Let's move on as a country and ignore that. The New York Knicks had a great season. Hell yeah. Karl Anthony Towns is here. Hey, girl. Max Crosby is here. Max, I hope you had a good Juneteenth, brother. Well, that guy's weird. Four-time WNBA All-Star Brittany Hicks is here. Give it up for Brittany, everybody. I'm joking around. That's my friend's wife. I knew none of you knew WNBA players. That's crazy. You clap for that.
That was the best.
Simone Biles is here. Yeah, hell yeah. It's not bad. Simone Biles is 4'8" and has 7 gold medals. She's short and has a lot of gold. When she's not competing, she leads a quiet life at the base of a rainbow. It's a leprechaun joke. If you tell Simone a riddle and she can't answer it, she has to give you all of her gold medals. That was the best one. Joe Rogan actually wanted me to be here to host this award show so that I could capture Adam Silver because Joe thinks he's an alien. And Donald Trump wanted me to be here to capture Juan Soto for the same reason. It's an alien joke. What are you rude up there, dude? Shut up. Aaron Rodgers did not take the vaccine because he predicted it would be bad for him. And then he joined the New York Jets. So maybe he wasn't right about everything. Shedeur Sanders had his jersey number retired at Colorado this year, and people are saying it's because of nepotism, because of his father, and it's not. It's because he went 13-12 over his career, and he almost won the Alamo Bowl. Definitely not nepotism, right? All right. It's a big year for the WNBA. I love Caitlin Clark. Hell yeah.
This is a good one, too.
Caitlin Clark, she and I have a lot in common. We're both whites from the Midwest who have nailed a bunch of threes. All right, there you go. Lighten up a little. This is not serious. We'll see about this one. When Caitlin Clark retires from the WNBA, she's going to work at a Waffle House so she can continue doing what she loves most, fist-fighting black women. Yeah, hell yeah. Who yelled? Drewski? Thank you, bro. Oh, John Jones? Yeah. What are you, nut jobs over there? Hell yeah. Shohei Ohtani couldn't make it tonight. Man, I hope his interpreter didn't bet that he was going to be here. Shohei is a once-in-a-generation talent. No one's been able to do what he does at so many positions, pitcher, hitter, and bookie. A bookie is what Bill Belichick reads to his girlfriend before bedtime. They do. They read The Very Horny Caterpillar, The Little Engine That Could But Needed a Pill First, and of course, the classic Goodnight Boobs. That was my favorite one. Also, I'm not trashing Bill Belichick. First off, he's 73 years old and he's dating a hot 24-year-old and people are criticizing him? What happened to this country? We used to be a great country. He won 6 Super Bowls. Yeah. He's dating a hot 24-year-old. Maybe if you guys won 6 Super Bowls, you wouldn't be sitting next to a fat, ugly dog wife. They let me do it. I don't.
Oh my gosh.
This is Disney. They allowed that. Yeah, I'm going to tell you a story. I was at. We should have taken that out. I had doubts going into that. That didn't work all week. Actually, it was a good year for me in sports. I went to Notre Dame, went to the national title. I was at the go Irish. I was at the Eagles game, the Super Bowl when they won, and it was not go Birds. Go Birds. Yeah. But I was down there. I'm just gonna tell you a story real quick. It's not a good joke. I was. It was halftime of the game, and we looked up, and you could see Donald Trump. He was sitting in the suite, like at the 50-yard line. You couldn't see him, but you could see like his silhouette. You know what I mean? He was just. Also, can we stop pretending Donald Trump knows ball? It's like a weird thing where they're like, man, he loves sport. He doesn't know anything about sports. Every time a team comes and visits the White House, he's like, and you must be the guy who catches. It's like, look at these guys, big guys, black guys. And that's just when the New York Liberty visited. They didn't visit. That's just a joke. But it was halftime, and we looked up and we saw Trump. I was with my buddy, and I was like, we should just sneak up there and try to meet him. And we did. We got into his suite, which turns out it's pretty easy to get access to Donald Trump, which is probably why he keeps getting shot all the time. We just got right in there. But we're in there. He doesn't know who I am, but there's a line of people, and he's just shaking hands with everybody. And I was at the end of the line. But also, I took a picture with him, and I posted it, and people got upset about that. What the hell? He's the president. If Osama bin Laden was in the suite, I would have been like, yeah, you're crazy. All right. But he's shaking hands with everybody, and it's very funny. Trump does this thing whenever he meets somebody for the first time, even if he doesn't know him. He gives them like a crazy compliment. It's kind of nice. Like he got to the guy next to me, and he was like, look at you, you're beautiful. And then he got to me, and he was like, look at you, you're huge. And I was like, thank you, Mr. President. But he shook my hand, he stood next to me. So I'm just, I was at the end of the line, so there's no one else for him to shake hands with. So he's just standing next. I got to hear him breathe for like a minute, just standing next to me, just. And then his daughter, Ivanka, walked over to us, which, by the way, so hot. She walked over, and it was halftime of the Super Bowl. I was hammered. I was like, hello. Your dad just said I was huge. So now it's me, Trump, and Ivanka. They're not talking to me, obviously, but I can overhear what they're saying. And Trump goes, Ivanka, how would you like to meet the president of soccer? And sure enough, the president of FIFA soccer was also in the suite with us. He was getting like nachos. And Donald Trump just looks at him and goes, you. And the guy put his plate down and walked straight to us. And then Donald Trump didn't even look at him. He just kept talking to his daughter, and he goes, this is the president of soccer. And they gave us the World Cup, and they did that because of me. And then he walked out of the room. It was just me and the president of FIFA looking at each other like, that was crazy. All right, that was a dumb thing to say. It was crazy. That was crazy, being in that room. It's crazy to be in this room with so many legends. You guys are awesome. Oscar Robertson, that's awesome. Sugar Ray Leonard's here. Hell yeah. Sugar Ray, you're the man, but in 10 years, Jake Paul's going to try to knock you out. So take it easy. There's one thing I want to say before I get out of here. This is a dumb joke. You guys aren't going to like it, but it's just a Norm Macdonald joke that I loved when he hosted the ESPYs, and I'm going to do it now. Travis Hunter won the Heisman Trophy this year. He's the first defensive player since Charles Woodson to win the Heisman. Congratulations, Travis Hunter, winning the Heisman. That's something they can never take away from you, unless you kill your wife and a waiter, in which case they can take that away from you. Well, see, a lot of you don't like me, and that's okay.
So that was it. I'll send you that link, Bruce. I know a few of you guys were messaging me about all that stuff. I'll send you that link. It was funny. I was dying. It was a lot of fun to watch that and listen to those jokes. And I listened to it a bunch. I went over and over.
All right, hey, I have real stuff for us to talk about, too. We'll get to after the real quick commercial break. I want to say good morning to all you guys. Gus Latulamar, man, I thought I saw you at Laddie Built this morning. I was going in there, get a real quick one, and then coming back, get over here to the studio. But, man, I don't know. Maybe that's your part-time. Maybe you're there. Maybe that is your full-time thing over there. Pilling Gazette Mo. Great to see you, my friend. He's like, hey, good morning to all my hot and sexy CNMI people. I love you. We love you, too. Luisa Cabrera, you are just the absolute best. And, Bruce, while I take this break, I'll send you that link, my friend. And Ann Attow, great to see you. Thanks for coming back and being in the house today. You know, suspect, I haven't seen Tobot Castro yet. PJ Victoria, all the way from the mainland. Great to see you. Thanks for tuning in to check us out today. Love seeing you again. Every time I get to see you on here, it gives me a little smile. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and take a real quick break. We come back, we're going to start getting back down and dirty to some of this stuff. All right. Okay, great. Oh my goodness. I got to send somebody something after the show is it. All right, guys, don't go anywhere. We're going to be coming back with more of your headlines and things that are happening in the Marianas with Good Morning Marianas. We'll see you right after this.
Got Medicaid? Paradise Dental's got you covered. We've got you covered from the moment you walk in the door with some of Saipan's best smiles. Medicaid covers your fillings, your extractions, and your checkups with no out-of-pocket expense. And Medicaid covers all of your x-rays without any additional cost to you. So remember, if you've got Medicaid, you're covered. Don't wait for a toothache. Call Paradise Dental today. Come here often.
Hi, I'm Shauna Brenfleck, nurse practitioner and owner of Island Skin Solutions and Wellness Clinic. We are Saipan's only medical spa offering a wide range of services to meet your unique skincare goals. We offer exclusive medical grade skincare products that can only be purchased from a licensed medical professional. We also have the CNMI's only master esthetician who offers new patient consultations that include a mini facial tailored to your needs. Schedule your consultation today to get started on your skincare journey.
Months in. I'm Daria Albinger, Fox News. President Trump is a half a year into his second term, and he says he is making good on enacting his campaign promises. Fox's Madeline Rivera in Washington.
Illegal border crossings have hit historic lows. There were a little more than 6,000 apprehensions at the U.S.-Mexico border in June, the lowest monthly tally ever reported by Customs and Border Protection. The president saw another domestic win last month, too, with the passage of the so-called One Big Beautiful Bill. Treasury data shows the U.S. has raked in more than $100 billion in customs revenue since President Trump took office, much of which is from the tariffs.
Nobody has done what you people have done. I think ever, I can say, just about ever in the Senate.
The administration is moving ahead. There's a crucial hearing regarding the ongoing standoff between Harvard University and the administration. And on Wednesday, the president is delivering the keynote address at the Winning AI Race Summit here in D.C.
A Democratic Party memo, meanwhile, argues that the Trump administration's agenda has threatened health care and food for millions, and it benefits the wealthy. The director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, wants former President Obama prosecuted. She says recently declassified documents show that his administration manufactured and politicized intelligence to create the narrative that Russia tried to influence 2016 election. Kansas Senator Roger Marshall on Fox News Live.
There are new documents that are showing that President Obama was in the room, and they did this conspiracy working with lifetime people within the political agencies, within the FBI. There was a conspiracy to try to throw out this misinformation, to try to make this an illegitimate election.
Gabbard is sending the documents to the Justice Department. Democrats call her claims baseless. America's listening to Fox News.
From the Fox News Podcasts Network.
Hey there, it's me, Kennedy. Make sure to check out my podcast, Kennedy Saves the World. It is 5 days a week, every week. Download and listen at foxnewspodcast.com or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast.
The U.S. brokers a ceasefire deal amid ongoing feuds between militias in Syria. Fox's Trey Yingst is in Tel Aviv.
A ceasefire was announced in southern Syria to end the fighting in Sweda province. Bedouin tribes said they had withdrawn from this area as part of the agreement, but new video shows street clashes on the outskirts of the city over the weekend in the hours after U.S. Special Envoy Tom Barak called on all parties to lay down their weapons. Syrian President Ahmed al-Shara spoke about the violence erupting in the majority Druze area.
The Syrian state is committed to protecting all minorities and sect in the country and is proceeding to hold all violators accountable from any party.
Last week, hundreds of Israeli Druze crossed into southern Syria to help with the fight against majority Bedouin tribes. The Israeli army called for them to return and later secured the border.
The United Nations estimates more than 87,000 people have been displaced since July 12th. The head of Immigrations and Customs Enforcement weighs in on how many of his agents present themselves during raids.
Critics say ICE agents who wear masks as they detain undocumented migrants instill fear across communities. Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons says he's mixed on masks.
I'm not a proponent of the masks. However, if that's a tool that the men and women of ICE to keep themselves and their families safe, then I'll allow it.
Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass says she's been told it looks like something else entirely.
For the average citizen, it looks like it's a violent kidnapping. So you should never have that.
Both were on CBS Face the Nation. Mayor Bass says she has filed a federal Freedom of Information Act request on ICE operations. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
The Hamas-run Gaza Health Ministry says at least 73 Palestinians were killed trying to reach aid across Gaza. Israel's military issued evacuation orders for areas where relief organizations are located. Daria Alvin, this is Fox News.
Hey, I'm Trey Gowdy, host of the Trey Gowdy Podcast. I hope you will join me every Tuesday and Thursday as we navigate life together and hopefully find ourselves a little bit better on the other side.
Listen and follow now at foxnewspodcast.com.
Half a day, golfers. It's Hanmi's 40th anniversary, and you're invited to the 23rd annual Hanmi Charity Classic Golf Tournament on Saturday, July 26th at Elevate Golf and Resort, West Course. Cash, cars, and other incredible prizes with our popular blackjack double payorio format. Anyone can win. Only $130 or $110 if you register before July 11th. Awards luncheon and our awesome raffle at the course. And a portion of our proceeds will benefit the good work of the Commonwealth Cancer Association. So register today at Laulau, and we'll see you on Saturday, July 26th. From your friends at Hanmi, building a stronger Commonwealth with you since 1985.
Okay, we'll still send a code 3.
If you see something, say something, and stay anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers at 234-7272 or submit a tip online at nmicrimestoppers.com. No names, no caller ID, no recordings, just your info. And if your tip leads to an arrest, you could earn up to $1,000 in cash. Your tips have helped take hundreds of criminals off the streets in the NMI. It works because of you. Crime Stoppers, we want your information, not your name. PHI is your local.
With laughter and cheer, Brad's got the magic that brings us all near. Sharing tales of hope, dreams that shine bright. Good morning, Marianas, together we ignite. So join the palm trees, we dance through the days. Rhythm and soul in so many ways. Together we rise through the moments we share. Good morning, Marianas, feel the love everywhere. Wake up to the sunshine in the morning light. Good vibes all around, everything feels right. Brad on the show, bring bringing joy to our day. Into the Marianas breeze, let the worries drift away.
All right, welcome back, Marianas. It's 8:38 in the morning on Monday. Just dancing around in the chair here, having a good time, enjoying it. Man, I tell you, can you believe that is an AI song? My gosh, AI, they're going to take over the world. I might be AI. I'll tell you what, though. Here's the secret. You'll know if I become AI, if all of a sudden I get down to one chin and I'm starting to rock some abs on the show. That's how you know I'll be AI. But maybe still watch I do. My jokes will probably get a whole lot better. That's usually how this stuff tends to work. Anyway, man, I love the world and this technology stuff that we got right now. It is cool. I'm a big fan of all the stuff that you could do. You can get these songs. We made a fish boat song, for God's sakes, right? Like the AI, anything is possible. And we're living that life right now. And as I'm struggling to get down to one of the songs I'm looking for, how far did I go? Where did I put all this up before? There we go. We got something there. All right, we're back at it. It's 8:39 in the morning. And, one of the things that's going to be a big deal for a lot of folks here is the reduction in the nutrition assistance program. And, we heard it from the folks at the legislature last week, where they said that we're going to be losing, was it $14 million less? Hold on, let me see if that's what it was. We're going to lose about 14 million, I think is what it was. Yeah, we're going to lose about, $13 million less. So what does that really mean? Does that mean that we're going to lose nutritional assistance? We're going to have a lot less going around. So what does that mean? Does that mean that it's going to be harder to get it? I don't know. We're going to have to ask as this happens. But they said that it's going to be harder for us because we also aren't going to be able to cope with the matching requirement right now. So we'll have to see how that works. The matching requirement is going to be a big deal for us. It says, check this out. So according to the DCCA secretary, they were saying that they serve about 41,824 people. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Because that's like everybody in the Commonwealth. You're telling me everyone in the Commonwealth gets NAP? I know. You know what they're counting? They have to be counting the folks who normally don't get it. When they get burst, that goes out to all the parents, like for all the students, that actual bonus one, that's got to be worked in there. Because that's like every single person in the Commonwealth has gotten it. I think those numbers are off. I think that's it. I think it's off. I think those numbers are skewed to give us more than what we get. Because there's no way that we have that many people who are regular, everyday nutrition assistance program recipients. And especially the SNAP, which is the supplemental. So there you go. So that's it. They ended up hooking people up with the supplemental numbers, but like they said, the regular nutrition assistance program is almost 42,000 people. Now, we don't have that many people. I mean, even if we do, you're not telling me that everyone's eligible for every single program that they got. So I don't think it's all doom and gloom, but I do think that means that we're going to have some more people who are going to be coming to the job fair on the 25th for Department of Labor. It is this week. It's going to be at Crown Plaza, and that's going to be a big deal on Friday, July 25th, from 9 to 3. It's the job fair. I met a young woman yesterday. And she told me, and she was outside one of our local stores, and she was saying that she has tried getting interviews. She said she watched the show. This was pretty neat, specifically about the labor part, and said that she has done the interviews, but she never got a call back. And she would need that. She said she is going to go to the job fair on Friday. But I hope that if she doesn't get a call back, that she's going to be taking the advice of what Manny and Layla were saying when they were in here last week, that
you got to call back. You got to call them and maintain that connection. Hey, we met at the job fair. Want to say thanks so much for your time, and see if we can't get in and maybe if there's other information that you need. And then if you don't get the call, if you don't hear anything back, then you make a complaint. And that's the thing. And then they will work to get you compensation for that, to cure that. So it's a big deal. It's a big deal. I mean, if our benefit allocation is going to be reduced, that's important that we got that. Joe says 42,000 people is probably the cumulative number of people served over the year. Yeah, I get that, right? But like, you're not double counting. I mean, do you think that they're double counting, folks? That seems like disingenuous, right? I figure it's got to include those things that they do for the school. I bet we have a lot of nutrition assistance recipients here. It makes sense to me, right? And then they have those supplemental bumps, because I know we get those too. If you got a kid in school, you get it. We take that for sure. It's like all of a sudden, ooh, we're gonna get $500 for groceries because we got kids in school. Heck yeah, we'll take it. So we're all about it. But are they adding that on top? Like, can you imagine though? Like, yeah, there can't be that many folks who just straight up get nutrition assistance program. I know it can't be. It can't be. So what I would like to get the breakdown from them, and maybe that's what we're gonna. All right, well, Brad, you're the news guy. Okay, I'll call them. All right, I mean that's it. So let's do this. All right, that's something I didn't get the breakdown. Thank goodness we know some people over there too, of the 42K NAP folks. All right, and I mean, if that really is numbered, maybe that's one of those reasons why we're getting numbers reduced. But I don't know what all that's about, but I do know that there is going to be a reduction this year. They're reducing all these kinds of things across the board nationwide, and finding out how it's going to affect us here is going to be an important thing, because a lot of people do count on that stuff for sure. And hey, I'm not making an argument about the other part of it, but I mean, like, I know that there are definitely people who are like, hey, well, they're able-bodied people, they should be working. I don't know who they are, and I don't know what that situation is, but the most important part is to find out the breakdown of the 42,000. Like, where does that number actually come from? Because, that's probably 100% of our population right now in the Marianas. So, yeah, I'm not getting it. So I can't be on the roll anywhere on there. So I don't know like where that number comes from. So we'll reach out to them this week and we'll find out. But that's a big deal. And another reason to get people ready to go for the job fair that's happening on Friday. You got to support yourself. You got to support your family. You got to find out what's happening. And, how are you going to be able to how are you going to feed yourself? How are you going to get fed? You got to find out what's happening. So we'll reach out to them and find out. Now, there are some letters. We got some stuff over the weekend, by the way, from the, this one went out earlier this month, but we saw a post on the social media page for our Congresswoman. And this was about the FUDS program, the Formerly Used Defense Site. She wrote a letter to Lieutenant General William Graham. He's the Chief of Engineers and the Commanding General of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, right? So it's about a lot of stuff all over the CNMI about getting us cleaned up for our UXO, which is unexploded ordnance, and trying to get us cleaned up. We got the letter here. We're going to be posting that today. The other thing that we got over the weekend is a letter from a candidate for that job, Galvin Sablan de Leon Guerrero, and he is running for Congress. And here's the letter we got for it. And we're going to post this on the old site as well. But really, when I got it yesterday, I have been enjoying the family days on Sundays. and especially this one here. Let me get the share window up so you guys can see it too. Dun, 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 dun. All right, I got to turn this music down a little bit. Let's go with something else. All right, so here we go. This is a letter from Galvin. This is going to be posted on our page today. We got this yesterday. And again, I could have posted it yesterday, but I was just enjoying a nice rainy day at the house with the fam, playing board games and all that stuff. All right, enough of that. All right, so this is it. So De Leon Guerrero raises the alarm over the sharp drop in food assistance. It says, Galvin, independent candidate for delegate to U.S. Congress, expressed dismay over the recent announcement that over 5,000 CNMI households that depend on the CNMI Nutrition Assistance Programs will get their food assistance cut by 35% in the coming year. Here's his quote. These federal cuts will jeopardize a literal lifeline for thousands of families on our island. To hurt our people when they're already hurting so much is nothing short of shameful. It says, according to the announcement, the cuts stem from a reduction in federal funding from the USDA, decreasing the CNMI share from $56 million to $34 million, which will affect more than 13,000 recipients on Saipan, Rota, Tinian, and the Northern Marianas. See, that's the difference between the 42,000. Anyway, to absorb the federal funding cut, the CNMI Nutrition Assistance Program office announced it will need to reduce benefits to these participants by 35%. The cuts come at a time when a downward economy, lingering inflation, and costly shipping have already made food in the islands, most of which is imported, more expensive than the rest of the nation. Here's another quote. As our economy struggles to recover, many of our people are struggling to put food on the table. These cuts will not only make their struggle worse, will only make their struggles worse. It is important to note that these programs like food stamps and social assistance are not acts of charity. They are investments in our people. They help families weather tough times, get back on their feet, and contribute to our community. They give people in need a hand up, not a handout. We should treat them as such. In response, De Leon Guerrero pledged to focus on 3 initiatives to address the issue if elected to Congress. A little typo. 1, he wants to engage with the USDA to push on the U.S. House Agricultural Committee so that he can work to ensure that the USDA restores and increases NAP funding for highly underserved U.S. territories like us. He said, as proud members of the American political family, we must do more to ensure that people not only go hungry in the richest, most powerful nation on earth. And then it says increase food security in the CNMI. On the Agriculture Committee, which he's trying to get on if he gets there, he'll also introduce amendments to the Farm Bill that will provide more support to our local farmers so that we can improve food security in our islands. He said our islands, which currently import more than 90% of the food, of our food, were once regionally competitive in agribusiness. We need to restore that competitive edge as part of an ongoing effort to diversify our economy. All right, what else do you got, G? Here it is. He said he's going to push for food cost adjustments. He said he will work to ensure that the federal budget bills allow for special food cost adjustments for our islands that reflect the higher food costs due to our remote location. If similar adjustments were secured for Guam and the Virgin Islands, then we must do the same for the NMI. As an educator, one of the first concepts Galvin's learned is Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which states that students cannot learn unless their basic needs like food and shelter are met. Likewise, our people cannot survive or thrive on empty stomachs. He says, what concerns me is that something as critical as a cut to food assistance is an issue that should have been caught. Unfortunately, someone clearly dropped the ball on that. I, for one, will keep an eye on the ball and never lose sight of what matters most, fighting for our people, fighting for our islands, and fighting for us. All right, so that's Galvin's take on it. That's going to be on our page this morning. So that cut in nutrition assistance program, if you don't think it's a big deal, drive through Aslito at the beginning of the month and you tell me if you think it's a big deal. When you're wondering why it's so difficult to get there with all the cars on the side of the road, all the people that are there and all that, it's because so many people are on it. It's so funny. If they're saying that it's 13,000 recipients are on there, 13,000, not 42, 13,000. Even at that, That's like a third of our population is on food stamps. You know, a nutrition assistance program. What does that tell you? That's got to tell you it's a massive deal. If all of a sudden 1/3 of our community is going to lose 1/3 of their benefit, whew, I know it's a big deal. So how is that going to turn out for us? I don't know. But Galvin said he's all about that life, and that's what happens. The election is still a year and 4 months away. I am not looking forward to another year or 4 months of campaign stuff, but I know it's going to happen. So these things are going to be they're going to be important. Oh, man. I'm telling you, I hear the same things. I'm seeing you guys on WhatsApp saying, hey, how can you do both? Dude, I don't know. I don't know how you could do both gigs. Now, if that stuff came out over the weekend, I get that. I get it. Like, I'm not banging that drum. I'm not. I don't think it's cool. So, the argument is, that since we're talking about it on WhatsApp, is like, how can you run a college and campaign? Should you step down? All right. My first take is no. And I'm going to get to that in a second. Because you know what you're doing. You've been around for a long enough time. You know the ethics, and you're got an ethical guy. But I know that there are people who are starting to beat a little bit of a drum. You can hear it saying, hey, should he step down from this? Should he step down with that? You know, it's too confusing. I know. I get it. Like, I do understand that argument too, that it's confusing and all this other stuff. Well, do you want to hear all these other points? I don't think it's impossible to do both, but I can't imagine it's easy. Like, when I see Galvin out, I'm not asking him about his campaign stuff, right? If I see him, when I saw him at the NM Tech thing, I'm not throwing a microphone in his face. Can you tell me about what's going on with your campaign? No, because I can appreciate what he's there for. He's there as as somebody who is running the college and going to another institution of instructional learning for our young adults. That's what he's there for. He's not there for a campaign stop. So, like, I think an educated person or somebody who knows what's going on in our community can see the difference. I think that's easy. Well, it is weird though to hear it. I guess I'm used to a pretty defining line. Yeah, I'm used to a defining line because it seems like most of our politicians are career politicians, right? Doesn't it seem like that? Save for a few of them, it seems like I know the guys who are, and by guys, I just mean everybody. Most of them are just politicians, and that's it. Galvin's a little different. You know, he's not coming in as a politician. Like Kim, she didn't come in as a politician. She wasn't a politician. She hadn't held any other office. So when she was coming out, she was coming kind of out of the blue. Relatively speaking, what I mean is, like, she was out in front about as a board member for CPA, but outside of that, there wasn't anything else. It's not like she had something else that she was doing all the time that kept her in the public eye. Galvin, he's been in the public eye for a long time, but he's been, like, with the school, with Mount Carmel, and now with the college. So, you know, we're accustomed to seeing him in a certain light. I don't think you should hold that against him when it comes to running for office in terms of, like, he shouldn't be doing both at the same time. Because I think that's one of the things that we can get scooped up into, where people are discouraged from running for office. And that's the tough thing. Like, I don't like the fact that people have to take a leave of absence if they want to run for office. And I think that ends up holding people back from, the potential of representing our islands, you know? And I understand why it is. I understand why the government has that. If you have a government job, you take a leave of absence in the 90 days leading up to the election. And the reason is You don't want to have the appearance of impropriety or that you're using government time and all that other stuff. But I mean, I feel like if you are screwing up, then OPA should hold you accountable. Somebody should file an ethics complaint against you. And then OPA should run it through. But if that's not the case, you're just discouraging people to run, because who's got like 3 months to just, someone who's a regular public servant, I'm saying, who could just take 3 months off? You know, what if you're a police officer, but you want to be a congressman? The police officers get paid a terribly low amount of money for the amount of work they do. They do. And I would love for the police officers to get more money. But imagine they get no money for 3 months. Like Manny Castro was in here. When he said that when he ran for office, he had, because he never took leave, he had like 3 months of leave that he was able to take. So he got paid during that time. And that's how we're able to have a paid, that's how we're able to have a great, high-level, highly educated guy become one of our lawmakers, because he didn't take leave while he was taking that job, and he was able to do it. Yeah, and by the way, that's so funny, because that's exactly where I was going to next. It's exactly it. The comment just came in. And the incumbents in the legislature don't have to take time off. They're also public servants. They also are, they are also public servants. They are legislators. They are government employees as well. But they don't have to take the 3 months off before the election without pay. So you almost grandfather in that person's ability to win. And when you've got photo ops saying Congressman so-and-so donated to whatever village, but it's not the congressman who donated. It's not his personal money. It's the assets or the accounts that he's able to do for his constituents. You tilt the election in the favor of the incumbent, unless you got a real dirtbag who's running. Yeah, same page, Jinx. I love it. Yeah, but I mean, like, unless you got somebody who doesn't show up, right? You got people who, if you win your first term, you should almost be guaranteed to win your second term, at least in the House, right? Because the deck is stacked in your favor, because you don't have to take off for your second term. You've had a full term of showing people what you can do in that spot. And you've had a full term of being able to use your office assets to sway your voters into making you the voter, making you their candidate of choice again. So you almost got to be doing a bad job, you know, unless all of a sudden some new guys come in who are just like, you know, awesome. Like it's stacked in your favor. Ethically or not, it's stacked in your favor. And I don't think it's fair. And I think that really does discourage folks from running, because they can't. The 3 months off of not getting paid, boy, I'll tell you, that's a tough one. Oh, and the pay that you finally get if you're rewarded with the people's trust, $32,000 a year. Now, look, I'm not that far away. I know that $32,000 in Saipan goes a long way. It does. You can provide, there are people in Saipan who can provide for a full family on that salary alone by just by being ultra tight with all their stuff. So provide plenty of love for their family, and by their family sticking together and all that other stuff. I'm not saying it's impossible. Got it. All right. I totally get that. Especially like starting salary for a police officer is like around $16,000. Dude, I get it. But for a legislator, people who are, they're called lawmakers because they write our laws. The funny thing is they don't, because they need their legal counsels to do it. So, and I get that too. I would want that too. But $32,000 for someone who's going to write the laws to take care of the Commonwealth is kind of tough.
$32,000 for someone whose job it is to take care of the interests of their whole precinct. Non-stop, right? How do you do that? And not to mention, oh man, dude, you need to have a same job. You need to have a side job to be a legislator. For real. You need to have like, I'm trying to think of a funnier word for it, and it's not working. Dang it. Almost like an OnlyFans for Congress. Like, what do you want to call it? Only legislature, only something like that. You need like you want me to show you my proposed legislation? $5. Come on, bring it. Something like that. Just so you can provide the services you need that your electorate wants of you. OnlyFans for legislators. I mean, that's I'm holding on to something here. And it has to deal with, I'm not getting into it. Well, it's really funny. It's a hangout with Brad over a beer conversation. It's definitely not a hangout with Brad on the show. Let me throw this kind of shade. But I've been thinking about this. There's people in one of my WhatsApp chats that I sent that message to. Was that this morning? It was this morning. If you got a WhatsApp chat from me this morning and said, man, if I'd known, blah, 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 that's what I'm thinking about right now. Then I'm like, I just can't say it. It's not fair. It's right. It's true. But I can't talk about that this morning, but it's really freaking good. I like it. Anyway, that's what's going on with us today. Hey, by the way, it's 9:05. We'll stick around just for a little bit more because I want to talk about a couple more things, and then we're going to be totally out of here. All right, true story. So let's do this. I'm going to take a quick breather, and that'll give us enough time to just give a little bit of love to our sponsors. By the way, we got new sponsors on the way. I'm so excited about this. Got 2 more over the weekend, and we're going to talk to you guys about them when we come back. So stick around. We'll see you in a minute.
Got Medicaid? Paradise Dental's got you covered. Got you covered from the moment you walk in the door with some of Saipan's best smiles. Medicaid covers your fillings, your extractions, and your checkups with no out-of-pocket expense. And Medicaid covers all of your x-rays without any additional cost to you. So remember, if you've got Medicaid, you're covered. Don't wait for a toothache. Call Paradise Dental today. Come here often.
Hi, I'm Shauna Brenfleck, nurse practitioner and owner of Island Skin Solutions and Wellness Clinic. We are Saipan's only medical spa offering a wide range of services to meet your unique skincare goals. We offer exclusive medical grade skincare products that can only be purchased from a licensed medical professional. We also have the CNMI's only master esthetician who offers new patient consultations that include a mini facial tailored to your needs. Schedule your consultation today to get started on your skincare journey.
Good morning, Marianas. So many things we gotta discuss. Happy day, Tirawami greetings. To Rhoda, Guam, Saipan, and Tinian. For all your island news. from a beautiful place with Pacific views. It's always so much fun. Good morning, Marianas.
All right, Marianas, we're not going anywhere. We're back. Holy cow. Did you guys hear? Hey, you've heard about ICE lately. A lot, right? Apparently, they are hiring big time. I guess they're hiring like 10,000 folks. Yeah. So check out these positions. It's enforcement and removal operations. It says ERO enforces U.S. immigration law at, within, and beyond our borders. ERO's work is critical to the enforcement of immigration and law against those who present a danger to our national security, are a threat to our public safety, and who otherwise undermine the integrity of our immigration system. ERO operations target public safety threats such as convicted criminal, undocumented aliens, and gang members, as well as individuals who have otherwise violated our nation's immigration laws, including those who illegally re-entered the country after being removed and immigration fugitives. Here's what they're hiring for. Deportation officers, detention and deportation officers, ICE Health Services Corps, management and program analyst, and mission support specialist. Mission support specialist sounds like probably the best job because that sounds to me like you're in the rear with the gear. Everybody else seems like you're masking up and wearing full-on stab gear. And holy cow, I'm looking at the requirements. Let's see, competitive pay is what they offer. Oh, come on. Let's find out what they are. Because I've heard some ridiculously high figures, if that's the case. Let's just say Buffalo, New York, because I see that here. Annual rate. All right, but what's the job? That's just what you are as working at where? And that's not to mention you get all the other add-ons and stuff like that too, right? So, yeah, so there's all these different jobs. Let's see, DHS is hiring too. They've got all these other things. I think like if you want to get a good government job, it's on right now. Let's immigration and customs enforcement is the keyword. Hold on. Let me go in and find it. This is on usajobs.gov, which by the way, if you're interested in going there, special agent in charge is a pretty awesome one. Supervisory detention and deportation officer. If you're the section chief, you're making some bank. If you're an officer, you're making good money. Field director. Okay, I'm trying to find lower level stuff. Because a regular job is pretty good. Holy crap. Hold on. If you get a GS-12, go back. I don't want that one. Hold on. If you get a GS-12 gig, and this is, a criminal investigator, just as an investigator, it starts at $63,000. As a GS-9, it starts at $63,000. Plus you're gonna have locality and all the other crazy pay. That's a good job. Yes, I was looking at the other one that's higher. There's even a lower level one, an investigative analyst. It starts off at $50,000 a year at a GS7, but it's a permanent job and full-time employment. And that permanent means like when you get a federal job, you're in, right? And that's with Homeland Security, and they're all over the country. Plus your locality pay and all that other stuff. It's pretty good. Let's see, what else do we got? Of course, your higher level one. The deportation officer is the big one. It says reemployed, inituant for all these other guys. And that's only a term. That's the problem. It's a term employment. But still, that starts at like $89,000. ICE is hiring. And if you guys are prior service guys, you're going to be some of those preferred people. I know. What else do they have? Again, your special agents, your GS-9 start at 63. That's a good gig. And especially if they're going to be putting you all over the place. That is a great deal. And it's a good mission, too. I mean, I would look at it. I mean, holy cow.
Like, it's only because if you start at that 60, the locality pay and all that other stuff is good. Like, there's the other stuff. And a federal retirement is bank. I mean, you would love to do that. But if you are a prior service guy and you want to do that, that is awesome. That is a great gig. I'd be all about it. Let's see if there's anything else crazy in here that makes sense. I'm looking at the lowest level. Here's one. A low-level deportation officer, right? Immigration, you're working for ICE, multiple locations, starting pays $50,000 a year. But that's a GL 5 to 7. So if you end up getting up to that 7 level, you're already going to be up a lot higher. You'd want to be higher for sure. But that's a good gig. And it's permanent and full-time. And I don't want to be that guy because, you know, I'm a little too old and out of shape to be chasing people around. But I wouldn't mind pushing back some protesters. All right, here we go. Where are we at? Boom, boom, boom. What are your requirements for this? All right, you got to be registered with Selective Service. Okay. You got to pass the drug test, so you got to say, stay away from the weed. Let's see what else. Probationary period is for 1 year. Mandatory pre-employment fitness test be used to screen applicants for required. I don't know what that is, but I'm curious what it is. What's the fitness test? A secret clearance. Anybody could do that. That's pretty easy. Carry a firearm, easy. That's okay. So you're carrying a firearm. You have to complete the Homeland Security Special Agent training. That's pretty easy. Oh no, that's if you did, you'll be exempted from attending some other kind of training, so that's fine. Travel, you will be required to travel. All right, there you go. Pre-employment medical exam, okay, easy. If referred for a polygraph, you'll be required to travel at your expense. Okay, cool. All right, so there we go. It says, please limit your resume to 5 pages. Oh my gosh. The requirements look pretty basic. They look pretty basic so far. I think most of my friends could absolutely get this job, or even acquaintances. National service. That's what I was telling you, national service experience. Experience refers to paid or unpaid experience, including volunteer work done through national service programs, Peace Corps, AmeriCorps, or other organizations, professional, philanthropic, religious, spiritual, community, student, social, volunteer work, all that kind of stuff. Veterans, Peace Corps, persons with disability possess a wealth of unique talents, experiences, and competencies that can be invaluable to the DHS mission. So they're looking for that. All right, here we go. This is the important part. Physical abilities assessment. All right, you fat bastards, get ready. All applicants must pass the physical abilities assessment prior to graduation from FLETech. I'm guessing that's their little basic training. Consists of 2 parts. A 1.5 mile run. The confidence course consists of, it's not confidence course, the criterion task test. Consists of a timed obstacle course that involves a vehicle exit, easy, barrier surmount, means you got to climb over some stuff, and a low crawl, a window egress, you got to leap out through a window, a stair climb, the repeat crawl, pre-cuffing position, the 170-pound dummy drag, repeat barrier surmount, and a sprint. All right, so here's what you got to do. For this test, you got to run out of a vehicle, climb over a barrier, low crawl, then you got to hop through a window, climb upstairs, crawl through that again. You have to get ready to cuff somebody, then you got to drag a 175-pound dummy, then you got to repeat that barrier again, and then sprint. And it's followed by a 1.5-mile run in 14 minutes and 30 seconds or less. All right, 1.5 miles. So basically, you got to run 10-minute miles. This is what you got to do. Age restrictions. Here, this is it. Are you too old? Yep. The date immediately preceding an individual's 40th birthday is the last day to be referred for this. However, the age restriction may not apply to individuals who are qualified preference eligible veterans who are currently or have previously served in a federal civilian, not military, law enforcement position covered by such and such and such and such. So there you go. You might be able to still do it. That's for the low position. So you got to get your fitness on. You get some pay, get some money. Next thing you know, you'll be all masked up and good to go. You got your TA-50. They still call it that? And you'll have your chance to get that job. They're out there. They're hiring like 10,000 officers. You know, when they did this for TSA, it was awesome. That's how I got into that. It's a great opportunity. You guys, don't mess around. Don't sleep on this. If you want to get out there and get yourself a good gig, look at it. usajobs.gov. Just search the ICE. That's it. That's all you got to look for. And it will come right to you. It's popped. Those are the things that popped up right away. Yeah. All right. Hold on. I'm just checking you guys. Yeah, so I think it's a good gig. You guys should definitely look at it. And you're going to make some bank. It's a good deal. It looks like they're looking for youngins. It's out there for you. It is out there for you. I'm looking at you, veterans. This is good for you. All right. By the way, we got this yesterday. Whenever we get something from Homeland Security about like these tsunami statements, we really don't put them out that often unless there's an actual tsunami threat. Because 99.999999 the top line says the subject line of the email is tsunami statement, and the first thing on there, the subject says no tsunami threat for the CNMI. If that's the case, no reason to get everybody all worked up, right? But this was a big one. It was a 7.5 magnitude that hit yesterday off of Russia in the Kamchatka region, and this is like a super volcanic region of Russia. And so it's out there. There's all kinds of stuff, but it says, hey, no tsunami impacts are expected for here. But other people in the U.S. and all over had received some warnings about tsunami threats. It's just not for here. So I guess all that worked out. All right, I guess that's it for us today. I'm looking at everything that I've got. I've got some stuff I got to post up on our page. Some of the stuff that we talked about today, some of the stuff that we didn't. Not yet anyway. And so we basically got to get to it, you know. Pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. All right. Who else? Any of you guys? Disqualified by age. I hear you, brother. I hear you. I mean, I would consider it, except for if I got a 12 gig, I mean, I would certainly consider it. But I'm having too much fun doing what we're doing here. So, all right, guys. I'm going to wrap up and call it a day. We're going to be posting a whole bunch of stuff here today. Remember, today is Community Day. 11 o'clock to 2 o'clock, head up to the airport. You guys can go see the F-22s, the F-35s. You can see the cool attack helicopters. You can see the C-130s. You can see all kinds of cool stuff. F-16 Fighting Falcon. My gosh, it was awesome. Anyway, go up there, go check all that stuff out. Maybe they'll let you put on a one of those helmets for the pilots and start making your call signs for Chappie. See if you can't save them in that nondescript Arab country that Doug Masters went to go rescue his dad from. All right, guys, that's it. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Same time, same channel, all that fun stuff. Have a great day, Marianas. We love you, and we'll see you again.
Got Medicaid? Paradise Dental's got you covered. We've got you covered from the moment you walk in the door with some of Saipan's best smiles. Medicaid covers your fillings, your extractions, and your checkups with no out-of-pocket expense. And Medicaid covers all of your x-rays without any additional cost to you. So remember, if you've got Medicaid, you're covered. Don't wait for a toothache. Call Paradise Dental today. Come here often.
Hi, I'm Shauna Brenfleck, nurse practitioner and owner of Island Skin Solutions and Wellness Clinic. We are Saipan's only medical spa offering a wide range of services to meet your unique skincare goals. We offer exclusive medical grade skincare products that can only be purchased from a licensed medical professional. We also have